came back to die with your park. Dennis, my boy, I came here to stop you. Oh, nice boy, nice boy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Jurassic Park Series 2 week here on Victoria's Cantina. Today we're unboxing the Kenner Jurassic Park Series 2 Tim Murphy with retracting snare action figure. And to help me do that, we have the one and only Jurassic Collectables, who will be joining us in just a little bit to show us how the Series 1 version differs from this Series 2 version of Timmy right here. So looking at the packaging, you have the same overall very classic looking Kenner Jurassic Park card back. The sunset on there just looks magnificent. For Series 2, they added the new Series 2 marker, and then you have the blue and white coloration down toward the bottom. You get a character card and you get the figure prominently displayed with all of his accessories. At the back, we get a look at other items in Kenner's Jurassic Park Series 2 collection. They include the Dino Tracker human action figures, the smaller scale dinosaur figures, and then some of the larger dinosaurs, Quetzalcoatlus, the infamous Carnotaurus, young T-Rex, some vehicles right there. Here at the top, some instructions on how to operate the figure. And on all of these Series 2 figures, they still show the images from Series 1 on these instructions for whatever reason. And it says, hatchling figure shown below has changed to the one included in this package. So they do want you to know that it is a different hatchling. Pull the string out to create a noose, tighten to capture the dinosaur. Once captured, put the dinosaur in the holding cage. We get the JP logo right there, Tim Murphy with retracting snare. Down here at the bottom, here's your official Jurassic Park logo. And then there's our barcode, Kenner. So, all right, we are going to go ahead and unbox this figure. So let's get right down to it. And here we have the figure along with the accessories that he comes with, and then collector card. Oop, there we go. And here's our card right there. All right, you guys, and here is Timmy out of the packaging along with all of his Hello?
Hello and welcome to the 856th episode of the Jurassic Park podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost.
What's going on?
Yeah?
Brad.
Who said that?
Wrong frequency, man.
Oh, hi. Sorry about that. Don't let me interrupt.
Okay, well that was weird. As I was saying, here's the figure out of the packaging along with all of his accessories. So it looks like you get some really fun stuff with this figure, but first, let's go ahead and focus on Timmy. The figure, as you can see, has a very interesting look about him. The clothes are very vibrant, just like what we saw with Dennis Nedry with the very bright red sweater. Timmy here has a very bright yellow shirt. The sculpt of the figure itself is pretty light on the details, but it does look quite good. This is definitely a figure that can fit in with your other Kenner Jurassic Park toys. It truly is interesting how they change these Series 2 figures to set them apart from their Series 1 counterparts. And give you a close-up here of Timmy, and he looks quite scared. He really looks terrified. Maybe he was stuck in the kitchen with the raptors or falling out of a tree. But I mean, it definitely shows on his face that, he's in Jurassic Park and he just wants to get out of there. And it looks pretty good. I think that the likeness is mostly there. It does look more like Timmy than the Series 1 version does, and it looks a little bit more age appropriate to me. So this might look a little bit older than Tim did in the film. I think Tim was probably around 8 or 9. This maybe looks like a 12-year-old, I would say. It looks a little bit older, but definitely an improvement over the first version, which looked more like a teenager. But it's got a decent sculpt. There's not a whole lot of paint detail. The flesh tone looks pretty good. Hair color looks all right. It's a little bit light. but you don't see any whites around the eyes. You don't see any paint details on the teeth, even though they're sculpted, but it does work. And he's wearing this yellow shirt. The body is exactly the same one that came with Series 1. The head is the only difference here, and the colors, of course, of his clothing are different. So you got this very vibrant yellow shirt with a blue collar. It's got a blue JP badge. He's got a bandolier going around his torso. He's got these blue shorts, and then he's got his shoes. He's got sneakers, and they have white socks, so pretty decent. And peg holes there at the bottom. So it's a very interesting looking figure, and I do like that they gave him shorts because, of course, that's what he had in the film. And I think it's just a fun looking figure. The pose that he's in is a little bit strange. He kind of has one leg just kind of going out to the side, so it's very interesting looking, but it adds a little bit of diversity to your Jurassic Park human figures, and I think that it works. So in terms of articulation, it's very simplistic. You get your swivel here at the neck, you get swivels at both of the arms, and then you get swivels at both of the hips. So very lightly articulated, but it is exactly sufficient for the JP toy line. In terms of accessories, Tim comes with his goggles. I assume these are the same goggles we see in Jurassic Park and later in Jurassic World. Of course, they're not colored like they were in the film. These are basically just gray. It would have been nice if they would have painted them green at the very least, but it works. And to fit them over his head, we're just going to slide them over like this. And they look a little bit big for him. They fit, which is the most important thing, of course, but they do look a little bit oversized. So we also get this retracting snare, and it's basically just a red plastic snare that has this rope around it. It's basically just a black string. We'll go ahead and loosen it up just like this, and it's attached here at one end, and on this end here, it basically just has a little red piece. And as we saw with the instructions, the goal is basically just to give it a little bit of rope. That way you can secure your dinosaur at the neck and bring him in for processing. Now, it is worth noting that the snare is very, very long. And when you give it to Tim to hold, he seems to hold it okay. It's not the best fit in his hand, but it does make him very front heavy. So you do need to kind of tweak his legs in order to offset the difference in weight. Now, because of the way that his legs are positioned with one leg sort of sticking out to the side, it kind of makes balancing him a little bit tricky. But once you get it dialed in, he looks quite good. We also get a cage, and this is perfect for holding your little baby dinosaur hatchlings securely. So you don't have to worry about them running away. This is a very nice little crate. It has sculpted wheels. They don't spin, but they are there, and it's very nice gunmetal color. Now, it does open up here at the top, and you'll see that there's a little latch right there. You're going to go ahead and push this inward, and it'll release the top part of the crate. And it doesn't go farther up than that, but that seems to be enough for getting your dinosaur in there. Now, our hatchling this time around is a Parasaurolophus. The first version of Tim came with a baby Brachiosaurus, and this is nice. I really do like that Kenner mixed up the hatchlings the second time around, just in case you already had the Series 1 versions of these figures. This time you're going to get different dinosaurs. I think that's quite fun, and it looks really good. I have no qualms about the aesthetics of this. He's a little bit chunky, but he is a baby hatchling, so maybe that's appropriate. It looks good though. I like the head. It does have a little bit of a cutesy look to it, which I'm quite fond of. And very nice big yellow eyes. You can see that it has some very nice sculpting details on it. You can see its scales on there and the striations and linear patterns. It does look really nice, and just a very fun looking piece. You get like a maroon color here going up along the top of his head, and then the body itself is more of this very whitish sort of gray color, and then he has more of this jade green sort of stripe that goes down his back from the head to the tail. So that looks quite nice. Get your JP logo right there. I do find that this one is a little bit hard to stand up. He's standing right there, but it just seems like a little bit of an awkward balance because he doesn't stand quite as well as some of the other hatchlings do. So if we bring the snare back in to see how that works, basically you just want to let enough string out to capture the dinosaur, and then you're going to pull back on the string in order to capture him. And there we go. We got one. And what do we do once we catch our baby dinosaur? Well, we bring him into the cage. So we're just going to go ahead and set him free just like that. We'll go ahead and pull the snare off. And then we'll go ahead and place him securely into the cage. And now we can lock it shut so he doesn't escape. And he's still got some pretty good breathing room, which is quite nice. And that looks really cool. That's pretty fun. And Kenner was just so inventive with these Jurassic Park human figures, giving them little hatchlings and giving each figure its own kind of weapon and accessory. And this is unique in that it's the only Kenner JP Series 1 or Series 2 human figure that comes with some sort of a capture cage. All the other ones had backpacks and different sorts of accessories. This is great. And no Kenner Jurassic Park toy is complete without a authentic movie collector card. And you can see that Tim is in peril. He is climbing down the electrified fence. And he's going to become a human piece of toast, whether or not he knows it already. That's definitely going to happen. And it's a nice looking card. And here at the back, it says, personnel profile, Tim Murphy. He's conversant with the latest theories and research on fossils. He's also the precocious 9-year-old grandson of Jurassic Park's founder. Movie moments. Don't look down. Tim starts the long trip back down the perimeter fence, unaware the juice could come back on at any moment. Will he get zapped? The suspense is electrifying. And Kenner wasn't one to shy away from puns with these cards. Dino trivia. Where are Brachiosaurus's nostrils located? And it says on top of its head. Although it is uncertain, scientists speculate this location helped prevent injuries while foraging among trees. And of course, it does refer to the Brachiosaurus, even though we get the Parasaurolophus hatchling with this figure. All right, so to see how the Series 2 Tim Murphy differs from the Series 1 version, here is Jurassic Collectables telling us a little bit about the Series 1 figure.
So here's Tim Murphy, probably the best figure from the Jurassic Park toy line, if I'm honest. So good that they released him in Series 1 and Series 2. Now he's obviously on the hunt because he's got this wonderful bandolier / utility belt, one that would probably challenge Boba Fett. And he also comes with these night vision goggles, which are perfect for hunting dinosaurs in those low light conditions. If that weren't enough, he comes with this beautiful red snare that when you pull it tight, the noose allows you to grab dinosaurs around the neck. And he also comes with this cage, which has a convenient escape hole there on the top. But it's a reinforced cage, so obviously Tim Murphy's after some pretty vicious dinosaurs. He's quite the hunter with all of this kit. And you can see we've got some artificial wheels on the bottom there, which is always handy. So here is Tim all kitted out and ready for hunting, and he looks pretty formidable. And the dinosaur that he's hunting has got to be pretty vicious. Could it be this guy, the Tyrannosaurus Rex? Or maybe this huge beast, the Brachiosaurus? No, it's this guy. Probably the most formidable dinosaur you've ever seen. It's the baby Brachiosaurus. Now I'm not going to knock this guy. He's the only Brachiosaurus figure we've actually had in the Jurassic Park line, and it's a really nice sculpt. So let's take a closer look. You can see we've got lovely sculpted creases and lines going down the neck. Really nice stumpy legs going on. Nice exaggerated baby-like figure. You can see we've got the JP official logo there. Remember guys, if it's not Jurassic Park, it's actually extinct. And you can see we've got a nice three-tone paint scheme. It's quite subtle. It's got a darker grey and it's got a lighter grey for the underbelly. Airbrushed on lovingly. And you can see the stripe there running along the back. So let's see what the Brachiosaurus looks like in its cage. Such a vicious dinosaur. Let's keep that one in a cage. There we go. It's alright guys, we're safe now. So here is Tim with his wonderful goggles, and they look really cool on him. It's really nice that they included that accessory. And here you can see the JP logo again. If it's not Jurassic Park, it's extinct. You can see there's wonderful sculpt lines going on all over the back and the front there. Some nice khaki shorts there, very nicely sculpted creases. Nice bright skin tone. And really bright white socks and trainers, so much so, they're so bright, they're kind of like lightsaber material. They're just constantly reflecting back that light. So yeah, that could be painful for your eyes. So there you have it. That was Tim Murphy. I hope you enjoyed this quick look from Jurassic Collectables. Thank you so much to Victoria's Cantina for having me on her wonderful channel. Stay tuned, guys, and subscribe to Victoria's Cantina if you haven't already.
All right, and thank you so much, Jurassic Collectables, for showing us how the Series 1 Tim is different from the Series 2 version. So overall, you guys, this is a fun figure. I don't know that I would say that it's my...
Thanks for listening to the 856th episode of the...
Brad?
Victoria.
What's going on, buddy?
Wrong frequency, I guess. I'm going to go back to hosting my podcast. Carry on.
I think you should do that, and I'll go ahead and continue with my video. So I wouldn't say that this is one of my favorite figures in the Kenner Jurassic Park toy line. It's okay, I like it. I do think it's a little bit hard to stand the figure, and getting him to hold the snare is a little bit tricky because it is kind of heavy for him. But I like how they included his goggles, and I really do like the hatchling along with its cage. That's just really fun. And it's that cage and the hatchling's ability to be put into it that really makes this figure for me. I love how each of these figures has their own unique accessories to set them all apart and make you want to buy them all, because they're all very fun in their own right, and you just don't see toys like this nowadays. Once again, I would like to thank Jurassic Collectables for stopping by. Be sure to check out his awesome Jurassic Park and Dinosaur channel right here on YouTube, and be sure to visit him on Twitter. I will throw some links down in the description. Thanks again, my friends, for tuning in to Jurassic Park Series 2 week here on Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.
Timmy, what is it?
It's a velociraptor. It's inside.
This should do the trick.
Oh dear.
Hey, you! Ha! At least we're safe.
I think we should go home now.
I agree.
Ooh.